improvements in our generational supply. That is also important. And we partnership with the
Glad to have you join us on another episode of Dateline here on Housing TV Africa, your one-stop station for news and updates in the housing sector. I am Dorcas Chia, and just like every other episode, today we bring to you a very crucial topic. We are going to be looking at the menstrual health with the World Menstrual Hygiene Day 2025 in focus. We'll be looking at it, which the World Menstrual Hygiene Day was celebrated a few months back, but we are going to be talking about that and also looking at the area of the menstrual health. We have someone here already in the studio who is going to be giving us more information concerning this particular topic. But before we kickstart this program, let's take a quick breather, and when we're back, Dateline will kickstart. Stay tuned.
Visit Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts on Facebook, Housing TV Africa, on Twitter, Housing TV Africa, Instagram, Housing TV Africa. Join the conversation and keep up with latest housing updates.
Welcome back if you are just joining us. This is Dateline here on Housing TV Africa, and we are going to be discussing menstrual health with the World Menstrual Hygiene Day in focus. And before we went on that break, I said we already have a guest who is in the studio with us and is itching to begin to tell us what she has for us today. And also, she has brought a lot of things to educate us on this particular issue. She is a public health expert, and her name is Blessing Ajabio. It's good to have you in the studio, ma.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
I'm very glad to have you. I can see you came with a lot, and you're ready to, educate us on what. I'm sitting here. I don't know. I'm a lady, but I'm just very curious about what I'm going to hear today. So thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you.
So let's just get straight into the discussion now. Before we move straight, because we're talking about menstrual health with World Menstrual Hygiene Day in focus, before we move straight to that particular awareness campaign, let's just know a bit about what menstrual health is all about and what it entails as a whole.
Okay, menstrual health, like we said behind the camera, that it goes with hygiene as well. Poor hygiene leads to poor health. So menstrual health is about how a woman or a girl is able to care for herself when this time of the month comes to play. It's the time when a woman is expected to take care of herself, look inwardly and know what works for her when she's on her period. It entails healthy materials to use for to manage the period flow. It entails, if you're discomforting, maybe in pain or something, what you need to do or take to ensure that your day is not going south.
Okay.
Your day is not disorganized.
Yes.
So menstrual health as a whole is for a woman to care for herself in that period of the month in order to prevent further complications when it comes to reproductive health and fertility issues. So it's all encompassing.
All right. So, living in the society now, we see when it comes to the issue of menstrual health, menstruation, periods, it's something that people don't like to talk about. Even the ladies, we're usually very shy about it. We don't just want to talk so much about it. But here we are having a particular day where we come out to give more awareness about this particular issue, about our menstrual health. So why the World Menstrual Hygiene Day? What is the significance of that particular day?
I'm happy that we're having this conversation this is July, and World Menstrual Health Day is on 28th of May, year in, year out. It was It was first established by the NGO Wash United in 2013 and started observing it in 2014. It was carefully chosen, the dates. It was deliberate, like 28th of May. May now is the 5th month. That's what I'm going to of the year, and it's established that averagely the menstrual flow flows for 5 days. Averagely, it can be less, it can be more, and then averagely a woman's cycle is said to be 28 days.
Yes,
it can be more.
Wow,
it can be less.
I guess.
So, yes,
I get the whole understanding.
That's why I was saying that it was deliberately, carefully chosen. And this is because it's been observed that a lot of issues that women are silent about has been going and causing extreme issues that can't be reversed, like fertility issues and other health challenges, when it can really be addressed. And a lot of other women because of in some culture, because of stigmatization and will I now call it marginalization of the women, taking women issues to be trivial and all of that. So it behooves the body to say, okay, let's have a day to sensitize, to bring to the fore of the world that this thing is very important for every girl child and every woman. And it becomes very important because it's to end stigmatization, it's to also normalize conversation around menstruation, because a lot of culture has made it look like it's a taboo, it's something not to talk about.
And all that.
Yes.
Okay, so you mentioned one of the reasons why we are advocating for this particular day. We have this particular day is to prevent some of the issues that women face. So what are these particular issues that women face when it comes to issue of menstruation and their periods and menstrual health that we are advocating for?
Okay, some of the cultural practices are very harmful to the girl child and the woman in the society. You know, it brings about what will I call it now? What's it called now? I'm looking for the word. Complex issues.
Okay.
You know, I've been to a society where a woman can't cook. She can't relate with people when she's on her period.
Yes.
She can't, she's relegated to the background. And at the end of the day, you're feeling less of yourself. This is one of the issues being addressed. And then the most important one is that because you're not allowed to talk about it, you have challenges in this area of menstruation. You're not talking about, you're silent about it. And it can further lead to complication of reproductive tract infection that can lead to infertility and other reproductive issuers.
Okay.
So,
all right. Okay, let's move straight to the theme for this year. What's the theme for this year? What does this year's awareness have for us? What's it trying to tell us, and what's the message it wants to pass across?
Yes, it's about Together for a Period-Friendly World.
Okay.
It means we should normalize conversations around menstruation, and that menstruation is not a curse, it's a blessing, because it's a life-giving process. So women should be listened to when it comes to menstruation. Also making available product, access to product, menstrual product, because we've been to some rural areas, we're in urban area, right? So it might not be that, because they're well educated, we know what to use, but when we go for sensitization and awareness creation, intervention in rural area to end period poverty with taking product for them for free and all of that. We hear a lot of things and how uneducated concerning menstruation matters they really are. This is because they've been told to be quiet and silent about menstruation matters. So it's about access to menstrual products, voicing out, educating even the girl child in your house. I had my own experience growing up as a 14-year-old girl that started. If time permits, I'll just summarize and share it in bits. And for a period-friendly world is also the fact that men are involved, individuals, government, public sector, private sector, communities are all involved, all need to come together to lend our voices to the issues that plague women in menstruation. First and foremost is lack of access to menstrual health and hygiene products, lack of access to wash facilities, girls in school. If you go to some public schools, there are no good toilets for a girl to change. Some girls miss school because I can't come to school when I'm menstruating because I will be stained. The boys will tease me.
And all that.
You know, it's a lot. And the environment is not so conducive for me. I had a girl that asked a question in one of our outreaches that she got up to tell her teacher she needed to go to the restroom. And the teacher said, no, hold on a bit. She said, no, please, I need to. She couldn't bring herself to say, I need to go and change. But why not? Why not?
But those are the difficult. Well, we young ladies actually feel very, very shy to say all these particular things. You're talking about products. I want you to talk more on it. I'm talking about the accessibility of products. We have heard complaints several times where people are like, oh, they make comparisons. They're like, oh, the government is making things like condoms free, but things like sanitary towels are not free. And they are very expensive. Looking at the current situation of time, you go get sanitary pad in the market. It's very expensive. And it's something that you need, as far as every month is concerned, you need a pad. You need you need sanitary pads. So let's talk about the issue of government making this products very much affordable or even free, because it's something that is very much needed and very necessary as far as a woman's life cycle is concerned. And also talking about the product, because some people when they're not able to have access to these products, they don't know. They said, and most of the time people say there are other things you could use, other products that you could use. I would just want you to get us educated on that and maybe let us know about those particular kind of products that can be used when a lady is in that period.
Okay. This boils down to the period poverty that is prevalent in, let's use our own society as an example. UNICEF and WaterAid carried out research that over 65 million people menstruate and menstruators here in Nigeria. Then we have up to 46 million living in period poverty. Period poverty simply means that you can't just afford, at that time of the month, you can't afford healthy products to manage your period. Let's take the girl child, for example. If it's 4 or 5 days flu, she might not go to school for that 4 or 5 days.
She just stay home.
Yes, because she doesn't want to be stained. She has just a piece of cloth, rag to use. You use it, you wash it, you take it outside so the sunlight can really hit and kill, if at all.
Yes.
But sometimes one may not be able to follow this outrightly, and then it leads to infection. BV, that is bacterial vaginosis, and a lot of other things. So we've been to places where you see people using cow dung, Bauchi State. Wow. I happen to be part of the technical working group of the National Technical Working Group on Menstruation. It's being coordinated by the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs in conjunction and collaboration with Ministry of Water Resources, Environment, Trade Investment, and Education, Health. So there was a time a visit was paid to Bauchi, and then there's a report, I think WaterAid or so, that a girl uses cow dung.
Wow.
Yes, we've seen where girls will sit on sand, some culture, separate, relegated somewhere. It's just there. Different things that are unhealthy. And then when they get this infection, they are not able to know exactly what
caused this, because they're made to understand that, okay, that's how things are done.
Because they are not educated on what is right to use. Even those who know the regular pad that can't afford, because we've been to a community where a woman said, I have 3 girls and I have to cook. So if I go buying regular pad for these 3 girls, and then I have to cook, why won't I just buy fish or something to put in the food for them to eat? So I just take piece of clothes and share between them to use.
Okay. So Ma, in a situation, because like I said, pads are now quite expensive.
We're talking
so
about
in a situation, we're talking about
I was going
period poverty. In a situation where you can't afford, what comes next? maybe for that particular month you're not able to afford, what can be used in that moment that would not pose a risk to your health?
Let me just talk briefly on the policy. There's a policy draft ongoing now, so that as a country we have policy on menstruation that can be domesticated, and the government, even though Nigerian government has budget on menstrual health and hygiene in the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, but we all know that even the 2025 budget the appropriated budget is not yet running, right? Because 2024 is not yet done. So now, we were talking about, before your question, we're talking about taxation, right? We have some countries that these menstrual products are tax-free. For our country, Nigeria, the only one that is tax-free is the one produced here in Nigeria. But think about how many are being produced here in Nigeria. How many? We have countries like USA, tax-free, whether imported or being produced there. We have Kenya, Senegal, Ghana, that have friendly taxation policy on menstrual products.
Yes.
Okay. So I believe as a country we'll get there. We'll get there because there's an ongoing policy draft, and it will soon be out. And some of these things are included, including the subsidization of a product, so that the rural woman can lay hands on healthy product, because there's no two way about it. It's either what you're using is healthy or it poses health risk. So far, in as much as innovation is coming on, we have just a few products that is certified healthy. We have the regular pad that we all know. Some of us just see some in the paper, on the TV, and we've never seen it. We've never seen or used it. We have, this is a tampon. It's meant to be inserted. Okay. These are washable
pads.
They all have advantages and disadvantages. They all do. These are reusable, so you're supposed to wash and reuse. But one thing about this is, if this is also one, if it's not properly maintained, it can still lead to infection. If you're using pad, you don't change regularly, it can still lead to infection. You don't leave this too long inside because of a shock. So, and it to still be full, so you're expected to
change.
And then what about the effect to environment? Some of this will dispose. They don't get to decompose early enough. Some takes 500 years.
Wow.
800 years to decompose. So when we're talking about ozone layer depletion and environmental degradation, all these things contribute as well.
Okay. All right.
So now, there's something some people have not even heard about. Menstrual cup as well.
Wow.
And we're talking about period poverty. Some of these you have to keep buying and buying. And some other ones are more pocket friendly. For example, this is silicone-based menstrual cup. This is what I use for years. So if you, for example, this is $10 in the market, if for 10 years you have just one cup, right? Just for 10 years. You use it for 10 years. You just clean, boil, keep it very well. It has a bag to put it in. For the next 10 years, you can use one cup. So it saves the environment as well, because you're not always throwing away pads and all other things, right? And then when you divide $10 to 10 years, that is $1. So local currency, that's like 1,500 naira managing your period in a whole year. So we're talking about eradicating period poverty. So there are some of these materials that can really help. But we don't know much about it as a country. We're sensitizing people more and more to know that there are products that are healthy and cost-effective that can be used. In as much as they are cost-effective, we can't deny the fact that we need government, private sector, donor agencies, and NGOs to intervene and take this to the rural areas, so that the girl child can go to school. A woman is comfortable enough when she's on her period and not, relegated somewhere and, rendered handicapped because you're on your period. It's not a disease. There's a way, we're getting there, I'm sure, that this period poverty will really be eradicated or brought to a barest minimum. With the right.
Thank you very much, Ma. This has been very educating so far, but now I just want us to take a very short break. And when we come back, we're still going to look more into this matter, look at the way forward and what even us in the society can do to help the girl child when it comes to the issue of their menstrual health. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
When the city is getting too loud, you need a home. Home is love, peace, and tranquility. Home is Housing TV Africa. Housing TV Africa, your first in housing news.
This is still Dateline here on Housing TV Africa, and we have been discussing the menstrual health with Miss Blessing Ajabioye, who is a public expert, and she has been giving us a very insightful detail so far, which has been very, very educative. And so, because of want of time, I want us to just talk on how the society can help, especially the schools, how they can help to, educate their students about menstruation, their hygiene, and also how they can make the environment very friendly for the ladies, for the girl child, when it comes to this particular situation.
Okay, so we are advocating for menstrual health and hygiene management to be part of the school curriculum. In some other countries, it's already there because we take our campaigns and interventions to school as well. We realize that some of the guidance and counselor and other teachers that ought to tell these girls about this are not doing that. Probably they need to be trained and retrained. And then some schools don't have friendly facilities, the toilets and all that. So government can't do it alone. Donor agencies, NGOs, other public sector, private sector can come in to ensure that there's proper wash facilities in schools. This will help to keep our girls in school because we have lots of girls not going to school because they are menstruating. So you can imagine if each month a girl skips school for 3-4 days. In a term, she has skipped school for how many days? It's enough to affect her education productivity. And even a woman in her place of work, she's not able to go to school, go to work because she's menstruating. We also advocate for pad bans in places in organization. So a woman doesn't have to stay home because she's menstruating, but she knows that when she gets to work, there's a corner to care for herself, also making the toilet very friendly, accessible to even people with disability. Now we have Bauchi State government that is doing a lot. Pad is free in schools. And they already, there's a proposition given to them by Water Aid that they are working on, building public schools that is very friendly to a woman that wants to change on her way out. Public toilets. Public toilets, yes. So, and I've seen the prototype, I've seen some of them. So the Bauchi State government is one state that have welcomed this development, and we hope that it gets to other states as soon as the policy draft is ready to be domesticated as our working document.
All right, so just in 30 seconds, because of time, I just want you to say something to the girl child who feels very shy, very ashamed, and does not like to talk about her menstrual state as a lady and to other as a lady and as a girl.
Yes. Before I go there in 30 seconds, let me see what I can do. I also say that everyone needs to be supportive. When I get to school, I don't want to just talk to girls. I want the boys to hear. So you're not making jest or teasing a girl who has stains on her uniform. So everyone needs to find a way to support the girl child, support the woman when it comes to menstruation. I mean, there was no time to tell my story. When I had my own issues, my dad wasn't there. My mom was trying to manage it herself, and she was managing it wrongly. That's one of the reasons I had passion for what I'm doing, to be able to lend my voice to the girl child. So everyone needs to be involved. And for the girl child, it is not a disease like we earlier on said. It's a woman's pride. My menstruation, my pride, because it's a life-giving process. So just ensure that you're able to manage it well, hygienically, health-wise, you're able to take care of yourself, you're able to speak out and not be silent about menstruation. Let's normalize conversation around menstruation. You can talk to your father, you can talk to your mother, you can talk to any mother, father figure around, even your teacher in school.
Yes.
So let's not be silent about menstruation issue. It's not a one-day thing. It's an all-year-round intervention for the girl child and the women.
Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you so much for coming on the program. This was very educating.
Thank you for having
very
me.
Insightful. We hope to have you on Dateline once again to speak on more of these particular things.
I'll be glad.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
I would have loved to add more to what our guest has said, but I know she has said everything and has taken all the words out of my mouth. So I hope you were able to get something from her and you're able to take something home. Menstruation is not a disease. It's something that is part of us. Don't be shy of it as a lady. We as people in the society, let's make the society very friendly so that we can be able to entertain such conversations and help a girl child when she is in need of our help. So till I come again with another topic, you're still watching Dateline here on Housing TV Africa. Don't forget to follow us on other social media platforms. I am Dorcas Chia. Bye for now and keep watching Housing TV Africa.
Improvements in our generational supply. That is also impossible. And to empower you living.
This is Housing TV Africa on YouTube and click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to Housing TV Africa to stay updated on latest happenings in Nigeria's housing sector. Follow our social media pages, like and share our posts. On Facebook, Housing TV Africa. On Twitter, Housing TV Africa. Instagram, Housing TV Africa.
Housing TV Africa, your first in housing development broadcasting.